guys! So today's movie I'm going to be discussing on the channel is the new film from Edward Berger called All Quiet on the Western Front. You've probably heard me say on the channel numerous times before that the Academy loves a war movie, because guess what? It's true. They've always been like a cornerstone of the Academy's selections each year. Like films as recent as 1917, The Hurt Locker, and Saving Private Ryan were all heavily nominated by the Academy. But this tradition goes as far back as the 1930s, when we were sandwiched in between world wars, the much beloved novel by Enrich Marie Marque, All Quiet on the Western Front. That novel was adapted into a big Hollywood movie by Lewis Milestone, and it actually ended up winning Best Picture and Best Director at the 1930 Academy Awards. Here we are 93 years later, and I'm already anticipating that Edward Berger's German-speaking interpretation of All Quiet on the Western Front is going to be a player at the 2023 Academy Awards. History loves to repeat itself, and the Academy does the same as well. I actually ended up seeing this film at the Toronto Film Festival, but it wasn't originally in my itinerary of films to see. But after the world premiere of it, this film had amazing word of mouth buzz around TIFF, so I tried to fit it into my schedule, went to go see it on the big screen with some friends, and oh my days, I'm so glad I did, because this really is a big screen movie, and even though it's being distributed by Netflix, I would encourage you, if you have any interest in seeing this film, go watch it on the big screen, because it is a very immersive big screen experience. I'm not sure you'll get the exact same experience watching it for the first time at home on Netflix. So yeah, if you are interested in seeing this film, I would say try catch it in a cinema if you can. Where Berger's film really triumphs is in the technical aspects of this film. It really is such a big screen extravaganza in terms of how bombastic and immensely impressive the action set pieces are in this movie. Where it struggles, though, in comparison to the other adaptations of this film, of the story, is in the character investment and emotional stakes. As much as I was impressed by the action in this film, I kind of wanted to be a little bit more emotionally invested in the characters. A brief synopsis of this film is that it's set in World War I Germany and follows a group of young, naive lads who eagerly enlist in the army to do their part for their country, but once they get on the trenches and on the battlefields, they really are exposed to the horrors of war. The main character is a 17-year-old lad called Paul Baumer, who's played in this film by Felix Kammerer. Did I say that right? Kammerer, maybe? I'm just reading off IMDb, but I think it's called Felix Kammerer. Felix Kammerer. Apologies for absolutely butchering the pronunciation of his name. But yeah, the story really is told from Paul's perspective, and there isn't really a whole lot of plot, to be honest, other than following these characters through the trials and tribulations of war. But I didn't mind this lack of plot so much. I just wish we got a little bit more character development and character investment from them. I came to appreciate what it was visually and sonically. In the 90 plus years that have passed since Milestone's version of All Quiet came out, there have been substantial developments in the world of filmmaking in terms of visuals, sound, stunts, and practical effects. So in many ways, Edward Berger's film is definitely an upgrade. Visually speaking, I mean. For me, this is one of the best looking movies of 2022. I'm absolutely in love with James Friend's cinematography in this film. Even though the color palette of this film is like a rainbow of gray, it really does give you a feeling of the unforgiving conditions that the soldiers were going through and how wet and cold and muddy it was. And same goes with the production design. It's similar to Sam Mendes' 1917 and how they built a lot of these huge actual dugout trenches for the actors to walk through. It's very immersive, and the attention to detail is impeccable. Very impressive job by Christian M. Goldbeck and his team. As for sonically, the sound design in this is visceral. Like, when you're watching the action sequences in the cinema, it really does feel 360. There's so many booming, crashing thunderous noises going off all around in every direction. Like, you don't even know where it's coming from, and it really does make you feel terrified. And Volker Bertelmann's imposing, destructive score really does amplify that whole war is hell message. Like I said before, where the film struggles is with the script, because there was a real lack of emotional investment for me with the characters. I think we needed to spend more time with the lads because, casual spoiler alert, there are some deaths in this film. I won't say who, but this is a war movie, and yes, people do die. And sadly, there was only one death in this which actually hit me with any impact. There was only one where I felt like genuinely sad. All the others that occurred just were, I don't know, I wasn't happy about it, but I don't know, I didn't really feel a whole lot, and that's because I didn't get a lot of time to get to know the character. I should have felt more when some of the characters died, and sadly, I just didn't. So I really do wish the film had a better balance of spectacle and emotionality, because it really is one-sided with the spectacle. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a very well put together action movie, but I wanted to care more about the characters, and yeah, that was just lacking for me. Shall we talk about its Oscars chances? Because I can see All Quiet on the Western Front being a player at the Academy Awards. I do think it's going to be a serious contender for Best International Feature, but I could also see All Quiet showing up in a few technical categories as well, because I feel like the older, stuffier members of the Academy do love a war film, and I feel like they're probably going to gravitate towards it. So they're probably going to acknowledge it for cinematography, production design, sound, maybe editing as well, maybe even score. So yeah, I am expecting there to be a few nominations. Someone asked me, could Edward Berger show up for Best Direction? And honestly, I could see it happening. Like, this is an impeccably well shot movie. We'll see in a few months' time. But do let me know your Oscar predictions for All Quiet in the comment section down below. So let's ask them 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch it again? Yes, I would. This was a very impressive action movie, and I did enjoy watching it for the technical aspects of this film. So yeah, I think I would watch it again someday. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? I recommend All Quiet on the Western Front for those that like a visceral war movie like Saving Private Ryan or 1917, because the film really does feel like a hybrid of those two films. And of course, if you have seen the original All Quiet on the Western Front and like that film, then yes, I would say check this one out as well. See how they compare for yourself. And let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think of this version compared to the first version? Love to hear your thoughts on it. And anyway, 3rd question, what score do you give it out of 10? As a technical accomplishment, it really is spectacular, but much like 1917, what's missing for me was a deeper emotional connection to the characters. So I'm gonna give Edward Berger's All Quiet on the Western Front a score of 7 out of 10. But as always, guys, just one bloke's opinion. Want to hear from you. Have you seen this movie? If you have, what did you make of it? Whatever you have to say, let your voice be in the comment section down below. For more movie, TV, and Oscars-related content, don't forget to click subscribe. And if you want to follow me on any of my socials, Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, TikTok, it's all in that video description down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Carefield, and I'll see you next time.